Good news, bad news is a brilliant Full House episode. This is the 5th episode of the 4th season. This is directed by Zwick, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And I'll go through things by focus. Normally, well, sometimes I'll go through things chronologically, but with this one, I've grouped my thoughts by part of the narrative, and it starts off with Joey trying to teach Michelle her first knock-knock joke. It is the knock-knock, who's there, boo-hoo joke, which I love. It doesn't go according to Joey's plan, but Michelle's response when Danny knocked on the door, I absolutely loved. I will get back to, or I'll get into DJ and Kimmy's story in a little bit. That's where I have most of my thoughts. But we also have part of the narrative that actually ties in really well with Becky and Danny. And we get to see a bit of the studio up in the attic for the production company with Joey and Jesse, and they're shooting a commercial for Wake Up San Francisco. And Becky and Danny are arguing basically about who gets the most attention. Becky now thinks it should be Rebecca and Danny rather than Danny and Rebecca, and Danny's complaining that most of the light during the commercial is on Becky, and they're not very happy with each other. But we do have this brilliant performance where they shoot the full commercial, and obviously it's not the one that's going to air, but they're very bitter, bickering performances, just fabulous to watch. And then when they smashed the cups together, it was actually kind of shocking. Very, very effective, and they ultimately have to learn that that's not the right way to behave. We have a slightly similar story in terms of bickering with somebody you're meant to care for with DJ and Kimmy. It actually starts off with Michelle going up to DJ and asking her if she wants to play with her, and DJ says she can't. Unfortunately, she's been made editor of the school paper, so she's busy with that. So then Michelle decides to play with Stephanie, and she plays the shadow game, where she copies everything Stephanie says. And this is done throughout the entire episode, and it's so funny. That sounds like it could get boring really quickly, but actually I found it to be an absolute delight. I thought Michelle's performance was brilliant. I loved the way Stephanie responded to it. Just absolutely loved it. Meanwhile, DJ has made Kimmy sports editor, even though she knows nothing about sports, and obviously she only did this because Kimmy is her best friend. But she actually does a pretty bad job of it. And DJ asks her to rewrite it, and Kimmy refuses. So DJ says, fine, you're no longer sports editor, and Kimmy says, fine, we can no longer be friends, which is a bit extreme, but nevertheless, this is the position that Kimmy takes, and she decides to try and get her own back on DJ. Bearing in mind, the only thing DJ really did wrong was giving Kimmy that position in the first place, because she wasn't right for the job. But nothing else, in my opinion, nothing else DJ has done has been a bad decision. But Kimmy still wants to get her own back. She makes the Gibbler Gazette and pastes DJ's face onto a picture of Freddy Krueger, which I thought was hilarious. However, DJ does make a bad decision after that by planning on writing an editorial exposing loads of secrets about Kimmy. But why does she have so many secrets? Well, it's because they've been together, they've been best friends for a very long time. And Kimmy comes over to return everything that belongs to the Tanners. Some pretty creative things, I have to say. I rather like that a lot. And she goes to get her things back from DJ. And I think DJ did another thing that was maybe uncalled for, because Kimmy was clearly just giving things back that originally belonged to the Tanners. Things she shouldn't have taken in the first place, but nevertheless, they were the Tanners' belongings. But DJ returns a cassette tape that Kimmy gave DJ for her birthday. Returning a gift is different to giving back somebody a belonging that's already theirs. So I think that was also maybe a step too far. And when they're passing around all of these things, they realise they do have all of these memories together, and it would be a shame to throw all of that away. And Stephanie's response, as she began to realise that Kimmy was not out of her life for good, I just thought was fantastic. Very, very entertaining. Stephanie was brilliant in this. And DJ realises that she should have given Kimmy the gossip columnist position, and that's what she does, and they're friends again, and it's an absolute delight. And then we end with the shadow game again, but this time Michelle is playing it with Kimmy. And I thought that was a really fun way to end things. And of course, Danny and Becky realised that the way they were behaving wasn't exactly great either. So, some really important messages there about nepotism and also about not throwing away friendships or relationships over something that really is quite silly. So I thought that was brilliant and a very, very funny episode. I have to say, I absolutely loved Stephanie and Michelle in this, which, to be fair, is usually the case. But I thought they were an absolute delight. I think it's a brilliant episode. Good news, bad news. It's probably one of my favourites in quite a while. I don't know if it would be a favourite overall. Maybe, it might be. It was a really entertaining watch. There wasn't anything about this that didn't work well. So, needless to say, I'm very happy. Good news, bad news is definitely an episode that I'll be very happy to watch again.